Guys, what is going on? It's all going off. Nicki Minaj versus Trevor Noah versus the Grammys versus Donald Trump. It's all going off. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. So I just done a recap on the Grammys and my thoughts on the Grammys and everything. Check that out. And just after the Grammys wrapped up, Nicki Minaj, of course, went on a Twitter rant. Now, if you are chronically online and been paying attention on the internet, you know she is now MAGA, fully blown MAGA, you know, supporting Donald Trump, not being shy about it. And I think she's doing that for multiple reasons. I think she's trying to get a pardon for her husband and for, well, probably not for her brother, but definitely for her husband. And I know there was conversation about her having citizenship in the US and not having citizenship or whatever. So I think she's trying to secure that for herself. I think all of her motives are purely selfish, not political. And I also feel like she's trying to gain power with the Republican Party, with the president, because she wants to out Jay-Z. That has been her MO for a long time. She wants to take Jay-Z and Rock Nation down. What did that guy's dad say?
That's right. Rock Nation, that's right. You will crumble.
Rock Nation will crumble. That's what Nicki wants. So at the Grammys, Trevor Noah obviously was the host. It was his last year hosting, so he was like, fuck it, I'm going off. He done his monologue and he spoke about Nicki Minaj, talking about the people that were in attendance. Like, Nicki Minaj isn't here, she's with Donald Trump, and they're talking about who has the bigger butt.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki. I know they say it's you, but...
That was the joke. Quite harmless. She does hang out with Donald Trump and they both have big butts. What's the problem? It's a joke. So, of course, Nicki doesn't like no disrespect, you know what I mean? So she came online and started going on a rant, ranting about everybody, and it was deep. So of course, first of all, she completely slammed the Grammys. She said the Grammys are a ritual and that a lot of the celebrities sacrifice children and different things to elevate themselves in the industry. And she was threatening to release some of her own stories that she knows. Let's read her tweets. All right, I was looking up her Grammy tweets, but she's got loads. She's always cussing at the Grammy because they haven't given her one, innit? They haven't given her any Grammys. And she's talking about it's a ritual, which is so funny because I remember when she done that performance that looked very ritualistic. I think it was after Whitney Houston's death? I don't know, but she done like a straight up ritual at the Grammys and they still didn't give her a Grammy. So a lot of the things Nicki's saying, whilst I appreciate what she's saying, I think she is trying to shed a little bit of truth. She was more than happy to be involved in it, and the only difference is it didn't work out for her the way she wanted it to work out. Yes, she's successful, but she doesn't have the power that she probably did want, which is why now she's going to Donald Trump to try and get that power. So with Nicki, I'm kind of just like, everything with a pinch of salt, because you're talking about people abusing kids and your brother. If you've ever read anything to do with her brother's case, it's absolutely disgusting and vile. And as far as we know, Nicki paid for his trial and put her houses in New York, I think, up for sale or remortgage them to try and get the money to help him get released. So Nicki, what you're talking about is fortunate because your brother is a demon and I hope he burns in hell. Anyway, back to the Grammy tweets. So Nicki said, as they do their ritual tonight, God Almighty will reveal himself to them. The ritual will backfire on them. God will not be mocked. Blessed is the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned and put to shame. Watch. I don't know when people use God for their foolishness. Do you think God cares about this? Look at all the stuff going on in the world. If he cares about the Grammys and you, Nicki Minaj. So after that, of course, she went in on Jay-Z, talking about his history of dating young girls, everything from dating dating Foxy Brown when she was 15, 16, then allegedly dating Aaliyah when she was 16 and meeting Beyonce when she was 16 and then later on going to date her. So she outed that and spoke about, you know, if today a 30-year-old man was dating a 16-year-old, everyone would have something to say. So why do you have nothing to say for Jay-Z? Fair. Because it was always like, I know Jay-Z and Beyonce tried to make out like they started dating or met each other when she was 18 and whatever, and he was like 20 something. But the truth is she was 16 and he was in his late 20s, and yeah, It's creepy. And I don't know about him and Aaliyah, if that was a thing. I know Aaliyah obviously dated his business partner, Damon Dash, at the time. And then she did marry R. Kelly when she was 15. But Jay-Z hangs out with all those people too. And he's got bare pictures of Epstein. So, and let's not even go into the Epstein stuff and his name and Pusha T's name up on the Epstein list. So, yeah, Nicki is... I don't know if she's speaking facts because it's all alleged, but she's shedding some light on some things that are questionable, and you can't deny that. Obviously, this has blown up all over social media and on TikTok, so let's look at what some people on TikTok have to say about all this situation.
Nicki Minaj went off on different celebrities last night after the Grammys, especially Trevor Noah, and she outed him on being gay. And I'm like, no matter how mad you are at someone, you just don't really out their, you know, their personal lives like that. And
is Trevor Noah gay? Trevor Noah's dated bare gal. Look at his dating history. He's dated so much women. He's more of a slag. Anyway.
It all started with Trevor Noah calling out Nicki Minaj in front of everyone. Here's a clip.
Every single person, John Legend, Billie Eilish, Phineas, Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here.
Yikes. And then you have Chrissy Teigen kind of waving in the back, giving a thumbs up as well.
Oh yeah, so Chrissy Teigen giving the thumbs up and stuff. She's so annoying. She's the next one because she'd be doing some scandalous things, and I know Nicki Minaj spoke about that as well. Spoke about Chrissy Teigen and her Pizzagate situation. So Nicki did tweet about her too. Nicki don't is nothing, man.
Very important issues. Actually, Nicki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nicki.
All right, so Nicki decides to call out Lizzo out of all people, saying Fat Lizzo lost 300 pounds just to sell 300 albums, so now she has loose skin and a flop album and a weird charge. Sheesh. Oh, she also said,
one thing Nicki can do is read people for filth. Now, this content creator doesn't know why Nicki called out Lizzo. It's because Lizzo found herself trying to defend Jay-Z because Jay-Z's in the Epstein files, and Lizzo saying it's a distraction and this, that, and the other. And it had nothing to do with Lizzo. So Lizzo. It had nothing to do with Lizzo. So I don't know why she's getting involved, but that's why Nicki has called out Lizzo, which was unnecessary. And she's always quick to call out a woman and read a woman, isn't she? Anyway, get back to the video.
said on Twitter, everyone knows Chrissy Teigen has/had a bleep, starts with a D or a P, allegedly, quote unquote. And then she also said Trevor refuses to come out of the closet when everyone in the industry knows his
talk about
boyfriend.
Chrissy Teigen in the
She wrote,
Pizzagate. She's saying that Chrissy Teigen's
oh
transgender.
my gosh, Nick.
Okay, you know what though? If I can spill a little bit of tea, oh god, I don't want to be involved in this. Basically, I used to work in the entertainment field, and there was a lot of rumors back in the day when John Legend was first coming out. There was a lot of rumors about him being a gay man, and then he married Chrissy Teigen, had all his kids. So obviously Chrissy Teigen is not transgender, but there was rumors about John Legend. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And then she also talked about Jay-Z, but we'll get into that in another video.
Right, yeah, she did speak about Jay-Z, but we already spoke about that. Okay, what's the next one saying?
Nicki Minaj just said what we have all been speculating for so long, that these mainstream artists, that some of your favorite artists, are in fact in a satanic cult and practice rituals. Why is anybody shocked? These celebrities have been telling us who they are consistently through their music, through their visuals, through symbolism. I mean, for goodness sake, they go out of their way to purposefully mock Jesus. This is so incredibly spiritual, you guys.
Everything is spiritual, but as I said before, Nicki Minaj has done that too. Nicki Minaj has done that bare. All the things that she's calling out, she's done. It's just that she hasn't been given the power and the platform that she wants. So that's why now she's telling the stories about this. But anyway, this video I can tell is going to be very Christian based and biblical.
And this is biblical too, because in the Old Testament, the Canaanites worshipped the archdemon Moloch. It was their false god. And they would sacrifice their children onto burnt altars. They would do this to gain power, to gain influence, and to gain favor from their false god. Essentially, it's the same idea, just a different time period, because Satan doesn't change his tactics. Listen guys, when somebody tells you who they are and who they serve, believe them. And if they tell you they believe in Jesus, examine their fruits. But for the love of God, please stop streaming music from Satan worshipers.
That's girl. Okay, UK Thanos. What's she saying? She's funny.
Let me tell you something. All the kids who grew up on Illuminati YouTube, we're all thinking the same thing about Nicki Minaj right now. All we're thinking is her contract has run out, or she's been replaced by a clone. That is not Nicki Minaj. That is exactly.
In it, that's always the thing. Like, nah, that's not Nicki. That is Nicki. I think Nicki's been this way for a while, but as I said, she was in it before. Now that she's like not in the circle anymore, she's still Nicki. She's just not in the circle anymore. That's all.
Exactly what we're thinking right now. Like, either her contract has run out, she now needs to pay back her debt. The MK Ultra is making her humiliate herself or whatever, or she was replaced by a clone about 3 years ago. These are very rational thoughts. If you used to watch what I used to watch on YouTube, you know these things happen. Nicki Minaj, dear old Nicki, please call back.
I know what she's talking about. I still do. I still watch the Illuminati YouTube channel. I don't think Nicki's cloned. I don't think she's been MK Ultra'd. I just think she's losing power and she wants power back and she's power hungry. And she could allegedly be on drugs. A lot of her behaviour gives drugs behaviour, allegedly. But nah, this is Nicki. Look back, she's been the same for ages.
Told me you'd come when I needed you.
Okay, let's skip that.
Like, when everyone's sending me her with Trump, I just look at it, I'm like, that's not even Nicki Minaj though. It's not.
It is. That is Nicki. All right, last one.
Y'all, Nicki Minaj is online clapping back at the Grammys after they mentioned her for laughs and views. She is threatening to expose a lot of the secrets behind Jay-Z, also saying that she won't be releasing her album until her contract is renegotiated and until I tell you about all the sabotage that this blank is finding out about Billboard.
You see, when Nicki was talking about, my album's coming out in March, she was only doing that because she wanted to stop Cardi's flow. She wanted to interrupt Cardi's album launch. And that's the thing, like, no matter what Nicki's saying, if she's telling the truth or whatever, she's bitter. Everything she does is from a bitter, negative place, which is why no one's not going to take this seriously. Do you know what I mean? As the last person in the video said, like, we all know to a degree how the industry gets down. Now Epstein files are being released and different things are happening. We have a bit more proof that what we've heard in the past is real, or part of what we heard in the past is real. But Nicki exposing this from a place of bitterness and from a place of not having the same power as everybody else. It just doesn't hit the way she thinks it hits or the way the Barbz think it hits. It doesn't at all. I love the way this guy was scared to say Jay-Z. He's like, Jay-Z. Ooh, Rock Nation's coming for you, child.
And then she said this about Blank Z, saying your favorite artist has been practicing blank in where they take from other countries and blank as a form. I can't even say this on here without getting copyrighted. But she's here to say the jig is up.
I believe this happens. I really believe this happens, because if you look into the stats, even in America, like the amount of kids that go missing per year, and the fact that like trafficking of children is the most egregious crime, and it's not spoken about enough. Like, governments could literally stop trafficking. They could put up more patrols and more safety at borders. Every truck would have to be searched. Do you know what I mean? Every child would have to be accompanied by a guardian and have it proved or whatever. Like, there's so much that governments could do to stop trafficking of children, and they don't do it. So it's like, and it's not even like in the news predominantly, the amount of kids that go missing. So the fact that, you know, kids go missing on such a large scale and no one talks about it, I believe the kids are used for these rituals, for sure. Not just in Hollywood, I think across various industries. I was going to do a video on the Epstein files, but it just makes me sick. All that makes me sick. Anyway, back to the video.
She also reposted this post saying true or false. Now, y'all can pause and read all of these things and allegations towards Jay-Z. This all happened after Trevor Noah made several jokes about Nicki Minaj still being at the Trump house and having conversations with Trump, and that's why she's not at the Grammys. I'm so glad Nicki's at least standing up for herself, because we all know Drake be staying silent during things like this. But let me know y'all's thoughts.
Nicki's standing up for herself. Nicki's always standing up for herself. She's always got something to say. Anytime anyone opens their mouth about her, she's always sticking up for herself, talking about like she's some victim. At least she's standing up for herself. Shut up. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the whole Nicki versus Trevor versus the Grammy situation. Also, if you didn't see as well, Trevor Noah also kind of went at Donald Trump, but not really. He made a little joke. Here you go.
That is a Grammy that every artist wants, almost as much as Trump wants Greenland. Which makes sense. I mean, because Epstein's island is gone, he needs a new one to hang out with Bill Clinton. So, oh, I told you it's my last year.
Now Donald Trump's suing him, of course. It's just ridiculous. I'm like, you're the president. Don't you have better things to do? Ridiculous. But anyway, let me hear your thoughts about all of this in the comments. Let's have a kiki, let's have a talk, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Like and subscribe.